Hello, everybody. My name is Jürgen Moors, and welcome to another episode of Process Mapping. Like I said last time, we start to merge the different series that we have. Last time, we merged process mapping with extended reality. Today, we're going to merge process mapping with Web3. Now, why would we do that, or what are some opportunities to do that? Well, one of the topics that we're looking at always is to a certain extent transparency, and we want to create a certain transparency when we create process maps, and we want to see where are our losses, what are potential long lead times, where do we have a lot of scrap, all of those things we want to create. Now, the challenges that we had so far is that when you bring people around the table, you get personal views, personal impressions. And like any big company, your company also might have solo. So also you get a siloed view, but also means siloed data that you have that you're actually going to use in your process map, and which sometimes actually you will see that the collidance is at the border of those different silos. And even if you bring process maps and you look at something that brings audit trails with it, because it's somehow a process that is set up especially for governmental purposes, and then auditability becomes an issue. And then you also see that in your process maps, documents are shifting from one place to another, and making sure that everybody gets the same document, you lose time and stuff like that. So that is why transparency is in process mapping a major challenge to be resolved as well. Now, the one technology that we've discussed so far that brings or adds a lot of benefits when we talk about transparency is exactly the blockchain. You said it right. Blockchain has a huge amount of benefits when we talk about transparency, because every transaction, everything that you put there, you can get out as well. So why not build? And right now we are in a phase where a lot of companies are starting to adopt blockchain technology. But why not, when you start adopting the blockchain technology in different processes that you have, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's HR, whether it's logistics, already building in the ability to later being able to use the data also for your process mapping across your company. Because right now, when you bring and gather all the data on the blockchain, you can then start creating your process maps and linking immediately the data with the blockchain data that you have gathered, creating a huge amount of transparency. It is no longer dependent on a person or dependent on a silo. If somebody has been waiting for 5 minutes and somehow this is being tracked, the lead time could be tracked in a certain way. It doesn't necessarily have to be measured, but sometimes it's also possible to see if something moves from point A to point B, and point A was, let's say, at 3 o'clock, and it switched to point B at 3:05. You know that the time was 5 minutes, and it was maybe a waiting station, so you know the waiting time was 5 minutes, so nobody's actually sitting there with a stopwatch. But that way, you bring very transparent data into your process map because you link them to the blockchain, and then it becomes, especially when you look at value stream process mapping, then you can actually start to see, okay, where are my big losses? And even if you extend your blockchain towards your suppliers on the one hand side and towards your customers on the other hand side, you can actually start to track things from, okay, where is my scrap? What is my percentage where I said, okay, this is according to the specifications of the customer, where you can see what you have as losses from your suppliers. And your map, your process map, becomes so rich in data that you can do so many things. So blockchain-enabled process maps, that is something to look at for the future. But you have to start building it right now so you can use it half a year, or a couple of years from now. So whenever you're integrating somewhere in your process a blockchain, think about the ability to have blockchain-enabled process maps in the future as well. So prepare your blockchain that you can use the data for that purpose as well, because you get rid of silo impressions, you get rid of personal views, and you come to what you really desire from it, the hard data, when you're creating a process map. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight of how we can connect process mapping to the blockchain, to use it for transparency, and to use it for a transparent view of our process map. I hope to see you next time when we bring in another topic in process mapping. See you then, and bye-bye.